guys, and welcome to another video. So this one is going to be a little bit of a review of the previous game against West Brom, and then of course a preview to the game against Hull this weekend. More so the preview, but I am going to touch on the game against West Brom. So of course, West Brom, it wasn't a good day at the office at all. I feel like the first half we played okay. I think there were moments in there where you could see where our our fragile areas were, i.e. the left-hand side of our defence. So I think there was already sort of clues as to what our issue was there. Our centre or central of midfield, it wasn't great at the best of times. I felt like they walked through us quite easily, but for the most part in that first half, I feel like we were a good enough side and we could have easily put the game to bed then. But then the second half come, and again you could still see what the issues were. And this is the thing with Tony Mowbray, and I've seen a lot of people, call for his head already. I am sort of on the fence, I won't lie. I'm not going to say, I want him gone, because I don't necessarily want him gone, but I do feel like he has many flaws that do need addressing, and when he's at an age he is, I don't think those flaws are going to get addressed. I feel like sometimes his timing for his subs, and then subs he makes himself, I just don't think they're correct. When we needed to shore up that left-hand side, he went elsewhere. Alessi, who has largely been very, very good. He was having one of the worst games I'd seen for us. He was getting battered. They had the whole range of their right-hand side. They had as much time as they wanted, and we just didn't change it, or at least quick enough, or we brought on the wrong personnel, and it wasn't good enough for me at all. We ended up throwing it away in the end, in a game where we should have at least got a point. Fair play to West Brom. I said in the preview to that game that they have so much quality. I expected a draw, but I feel like we gifted them in the end, and it really shouldn't have been that kind of game at all. They showed their class in the second half, and we didn't react to anything, or we weren't. I'd rather us to be proactive than reactive, and you could see what the issues were, and Tony Mowbray sadly didn't see what the issues were when everyone else was screaming for it. But it's a bad day at the office. It is a bad day at the office, particularly that we could have been 6th or 7th if we did hang on to that win, and we didn't. We threw it away, as I say, so massively, massively frustrated. But going into this game against Hull, for me, and you will see in my my preferred 11 for this game, I would go all out, including a certain Mr. Ross Stewart. Now, I know everyone's going to say this is unrealistic, and it is unrealistic, but apparently he has been training at full throttle for a good week or two now. But Tony is, of course, just been very, very cautious with him, which I 100% understand. But if there was even a chance of getting, a fully fit Ross Stewart for 45 minutes of the game, then I would start him from the off, just to hit them hard. We're away from home against Hull. We won't do so great themselves. We try and hit them as hard as we possibly can, as early as humanly possible. Then I probably would start Ross Stewart if that is a possibility anyway. But yeah, we need to change it around. For me, there was a lot of players who haven't performed or aren't performing to their desired level. But Hull, as I say at the moment, not doing great. Coming off the back of a defeat against West Brom for us, I feel like we need to hit them and hit them as hard as humanly possible. So it's a very different and a sort of attacking starting 11 that I have gone for this game. I'll quickly show you my preferred 11 and explain it, because it might look a little bit messy at first. But let me explain, and here is my preferred starting 11 for this one. So I've gone for the 3 at the back, and I am very much a fan of the 3 at the back, or it could even jump back to a 5 at the back. You might say, we've got Bass on the left-hand side, so you've left us a little bit more vulnerable there. I don't necessarily agree with that. By the way, again, the invisible man, that is Evans on the app I use. For some reason, Evans keeps on disappearing, so the invisible man is Evans. But like I say, on the wings, which is what I like about the situation, it's so flexible that Sirkin and Clark can easily quickly double up on the left-hand side when it does move to a 5 at the back, or even say Evans, if it moved onto that right-hand side, our left, Evans could make that triangle of defence, that press, that triangle defence, and squeeze out on that side, and everyone can push across. And it's very, very easily done. It's very fluid. It's very flexible, as I say. Diallo, if he needed to come back as one of the midfielders, be it Barr, who I will get onto, Barr or Evans in the middle, if one of those two need to come out and create a triangle press on each wing, Dale can drop back and fill in for one of the others central midfielders. So like I say, it's very, very flexible. So we have Pato in goal, of course. Sirkin would replace Alessi there with Barton 09. I think we've played before with the 3 at the back, and I think it can work well if played correctly. But I believe, instead of Dan Neil, who, it was his birthday the other day, so happy birthday to him. He's just not at it quite at the moment. I'm going to have seen Bart, I think, progressive, attacking, he gets his head up. So I think to have him there, and then with the presence of the invisible man, which of course Evans, I think it could work quite well away from home. Gooch on the other side as well. I do prefer Gooch on the right-hand side at the moment to most players who can drop back. We do have Trey Hume, but I feel like sometimes Trey Hume, the pressure can get to him a little bit too much, and he won't get as forward as I would like. And he will sit back. Of course, in the right scenario, then yeah, that's fine. But Gooch will always have that that sort of bravery to push forward when he can. Diallo, I put in behind Ellis Sims and Ross Stewart. Now, I'm a big fan of Pritchard, but I think you can't drop Diallo at the minute. He's still scoring goals, albeit it was a penalty last time out. He's in form, he's scoring goals, and he can drift off to left or right if he needs to, or drop back into the sort of midfield area to help anyone else out. But Ellis Sims up top alongside Ross Stewart. Again, Ross Stewart might be 45 minutes. It could be longer. We shall see. But I would go for it. If he's fit, I'd go for it. These two look class up top together at the beginning of the season. Let's see if we can hit the ground running with them again. That is what I would go with. And of course, let me know in the comments down below who you would go with. But so for the score prediction for this weekend, of course, like I say with Hull, they're in the 21st at the minute. I think they've won one in the last 5. Although last time out it was a very good 0-0 draw against Watford. Last time out, always a difficult place to know, as we know ourselves. Watford, a very good side. They should be there or thereabouts. So they do have a bit of resilience about them. They have character about them. And they do have some good individuals in there. It just hasn't come off for them, has it, at all, really, with Hull? Because, like I say, there are some decent players in there on paper, but we've heard it before with Sunderland. We've had squads before where on paper we should be doing a hell of a lot better than what we are, and we don't perform, and that seems to be happening at the minute with Hull. And I think the last time they did win, it was a 3-2 win against Cardiff, and that was some time ago now. But I'm hoping we can catch them. They're at home, so they will be up for it. But I'm hoping, we'll be just as equally up to it, given that we did lose at the Stadium of Light last time out against West Brom. So I'm going to go with a prediction of a 2-0 Sunderland win, and I think Ellis Sims is going to get himself a double. I hope to see Ross Stewart start, as I say, and I know it is very much wishful thinking. A lot of people are speculating that he's going to be going. Tony Mowbray has said that he doesn't really pay attention to the media, which may or may not be true. I just think he don't want to get sucked into it, with the media asking him questions, and I understand it can be very painful having to calm people down about Ross Stewart being sort of touted about and linked with big clubs. And as a player, when you're playing well or you're a good player, you're always going to be linked. So it is hard to kind of put out the flames at times. But yeah, I think he probably knows a lot more than we do, or he's not letting on. But we shall see anyway. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Sunderland win. Of course, in the comments down below, let me know who would you start against Hull City this weekend, and what do you think the score is going to be as well with the scorers? Let me know in the comments down below. It's always very interesting to read. But if you've enjoyed, hit the like button for me. It'd be massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, take care, stay jamming.